Spring has finally come to Chimney Creek Farm, not in a loud, sudden way, but like a woman returning home after a long, hard journey. She moves slow, soft-footed, brushing past the hills that hold us close on every side. Down here in the fold of the land, everything is beginning again. This week Paul has crafted a kitchen splashback created from an old blue corrugated iron piece. I'll be planting out some linaria that I've been hardening off, and we transplant 27 trees, loquats and callistemons, into the earth with seaweed and compost. The quince trees we moved weeks ago are beginning to leaf out, and in the greenhouse seedlings are popping up like little green promises. But first, Eli had to have another hospital visit. The worry is a shadow that walks beside us all the time. He seems to take it all in his stride though.
So I've put a angle bracket at the back. And then I've cut a bit of timber. I've ripped it down to about 65mm, which brought it out flush to here. And then the plan is to put some mini orb from here up here and just go up a little bit, just for a lip, so that becomes a little shelf. So that's the plan anyway. The finished splashback.
I have so many seeds to sow, I don't know where to begin. I've got carrot, sweet pea, corn. These all have to be sown direct. And then I've got some seeds that I need to raise seedlings for. So I've got pak choy, I've got yarrow, I've already planted some of that. Caper bush, passionfruit, celery. I've got some celery growing, flowers, they're ranunculus, lavender, and I've got some everlasting daisies, tom thumb mix, which is a really brightly coloured flower, bellflowers, and gilia, dianthus merry-go-round, and nasturtiums. It's a kind of wonderful burden having so many seeds to sow. I closed my eyes and inhaled the smell of earth and resolved to begin somewhere. I usually check on the seed packets the temperature, the lowest temperature to start the seeds, and I usually try to sow in that sort of order so that the ones that need the lowest temperatures are sowed first, and so on as it warms up. So I started off with planting a little more yarrow. Then I planted some passion fruit. So I'm going to transplant out my linaria today. They've been hardening off here for about a week and I need to get them into the ground. Linaria is also called toad flax, It's one of those cottage garden flowers that asks for very little but gives so much. The Northern Lights variety, which is what I've got here, is especially beautiful. It's like a wild bouquet, and it offers a sort of scattered of pastel blooms, lavender, peach, pale pink, lemon, all dancing on airy stems. I'm transplanting them into the garden all over the place, in places that have full sun and part shade. They're not too fussy, and they'll bloom right through spring and into summer. And the beauty of linaria is not just about the colour, it's about what they bring. The bees love them, hoverflies too. All of those small pollinators we rely on to move life from one flower to another, linaria makes a feast for them. And they also soften the edges of the garden. Between the vegetables and the trees, they offer something joyful, something that doesn't ask to be harvested, just witnessed. So I planted them in little pockets where the breeze can catch them and where their slender stems can nod in the rhythm with the day. Linaria are like little mini snapdragons, and growing linaria is a quiet act of generosity for the soil, for the bees, for ourselves. I harvested some parsley for our lunch. I like the sharp and fresh feeling in my fingers. I love that you can go out and pick or snip exactly what you need and bring it to your table. That is one of the quiet joys of homestead life. You don't wait on the store, you reach outside or you step outside and you gather life for your belly. As we dig holes for the trees, 27 of them, one after the other, hands in compost and the smell of soil rising, we take a minute to pause. Paul has turned a clump of earth and there's an earthworm. Just one, but to us it's rare enough to feel like a gift. The soil here wasn't always like this. It's been lean and dry and reluctant to give. For years now we've added compost, mulch, seaweed, thyme. We've worked with what we've had, trusting that slow change will happen. And here in this one small twist of soil, a worm, quiet proof that the land is shifting, that life is moving in. These trees we're planting, we've been nurturing them for about a year now, watering them, feeding them, watching them for the smallest signs of stress or growth. Half of them we started from tiny tubes, some of them on the edge of dying, so we've whispered hope into their roots time and time again. Getting them strong enough to survive out here, that's been the goal. And now, finally, we're planting them into the wider world. But I'll be honest, I'm nervous. The wildlife is bold around here, and the wallabies and kangaroos can shear a sapling in a night. Our quince trees are leafing out, but I can see that the kangaroos and wallabies and wildlife have been trying to eat them too. The greenhouse is starting to become a world unto itself. I can see life bursting in. We've got linaria, carnations, alyssum, and we've got golden marguerite seedlings all pushing upwards. We've got some elderberry cuttings in a pot there in the corner. I've sown some Gilia Queen Anne's thimble seeds in those pots there. And in here we've got heaps of lettuce. Every day I come in here and I find something new to cling to hope by. I've got some zinnias, Oklahoma salmon, passionfruit, and two types of yarrow there, the pink and the yellow. I've got nasturtiums, dianthus, everlasting daisies, celery, caperbush. I've kept a few callistemons in here that I need to repot and take care of, and we might plant them out next spring. I've got heaps of lavender seeds sowed here, but apparently lavender takes a fair while to come up. And we've got phlox, blushing bride there. We've got some pak choy, capsicum and chilli as well. And the nasturtiums are cracking through their soil cocoons. I brought out the giant sunflower seeds that I saved from Lana's crop last year. And in my hand they look like those little striped candies. I'll soak the sunflowers, and I'll also soak these Armeria splendens after putting them in the fridge for a while too. Our neighbours are burning off right on our boundary again. Morning comes. We still have foggy mornings in these first few weeks of spring, and I watch the valley's hills dissolve into whiteness before the day gradually comes clear. It feels like the land stretching, waking, blinking open. Outside, I planted the corn and carrot seeds directly into the garden bed. So far, nothing has shown above the soil. The asparagus is quiet still, and I tuck the parsley beside it and some dill. The dill hasn't come up yet either. And a few weeks ago, I transplanted some choko seedlings out into the garden beds. And after that, the frost threatened again and the wind was massive. So I shielded them with some old glass window panes and an old shower door. And I'm hopeful that the 3 out of the 4 choko vines that I planted will survive. Last year they all died, so I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we're going to have 3 choko vines this summer. And the sugar snap peas, the black radish, and even some new beetroot has already come up. The cornflowers I transplanted out a few weeks ago are still hanging on. And the bunching onions have set flowers, alien, spindly, otherworldly in their blooms. So the only good wheelbarrow that we have left cracked under the load of firewood that was destined for the fireplace inside. But I'm beginning to suspect that Paul might have broken it on purpose just so that he could use the new plastic welder that he got. He's basically fusing and melting the plastic back together to repair the wheelbarrow.
So you can see it cracked through there, cracked down here, cracked across there, and then that bit pulled out totally. What? No, you're not going to get a treat. What do you think this is? Do you think this is Treat Fest? Okay. Puppy. Do you want to get on your bed? Quick. Good girl. What sort of treat do you want? We've got kangaroo, or we've got chicken. You licked your lips for chicken? You don't want kangaroo? So what should I give you? Okay, if you want kangaroo, sit. You are sitting. If you want chicken, on your bed. Okay then, I'll get you some chicken.
I have so much gratitude for what we have, this valley, these hands, this work. The orchard blossoms and the garden hums.